السلام عليكم. محاضرتنا عن oral presentation. الحقيقة شيء رائع أن نتحدث عن oral presentation لأنه مهمل هذا this task oral presentation، ويتفاجأ طالب الدراسات العليا أو الطالب الآخر أنه أي طالب أنه يجي يقدم عمله أو يقدم طروحته قدام لجنة ممتحنين أو لجنة مناقشين أو طلاب بدون أن يتدرب على هذا الموضوع أو بدون أن يعرف ما هو هذا الموضوع. والارتجالات تصير كثيرة لأن كل الناس تعتقد الأورال برزنتيشن هو عندما يقدم لنا كم أكبر من المعلومات اللي حافظها. لازلنا إحنا في عالمنا العربي أو بالعراق نحب أن نحفظ معلومات أكثر ونستعرضها بدون أن نقدم لها فائدتها أو تطبيقاتها. ولذلك أحيانا نشوف السلايد مليان كتابات وعندنا أسئلة ليش يقول موضوع كبير وما نقدر نختصره معناته he cannot understand what is going on. Oral presentation not for medical students, not for physicians, not for doctors, it's for scientists, for most of careers. أنه they present for رجال الأعمال عندما يقدمون مشاريعهم، أصحاب المشاريع عندما يستعرضون ما موجود، الساسة عندما يقدمون إنجازاتهم. الساسة يقدم إنجاز والإداري يقدم إنجاز والعالم يقدم إنجاز في بحوثه. So the achievement will be presented in oral presentation, either in examination اللي هو discussion of a thesis or participation in conference through article accepted in that conference to show the people what is going on, what was achieved by his work. So oral presentation need to be understood. بالعالم العربي أهملنا هذا الجانب، قلة قليلة من توثق إنجازاتها أو توثق أحداثها أو توثق مشاركاتها. يا أما يوثق he will document his participation or his achievement or his intervention in the events. بينما العالم الغربي كل هذه موجودة وصارت عندهم عادات أو أعراف داخل المجتمع أنه لازم ينشر أو يندفن publish or perished. ولذلك السلايد أمامكم he didn't publish so he perished. دفن وتعفن وطواه النسيان. publication اللي تخلي الإنسان ينذكر في العالم. publication اللي تخلي الإنسان معروف في مجاله ومعلم. So publication is an important task for scientists, for professors, for physicians, for any career other. So publishing, and if there is publishing, definitely there is oral presentation. The publishing, of course, it was published in book, on journals, or etc. But oral presentation is an important task to present this publication for people. ولذلك ممكن نعرف oral presentation. It is action of communication. It is nothing but action of communication, in which one speaker is doing the most of sending and several of listeners are doing most of receiving. So oral presentation is a communication. One, he is doing the most of sending, and many or several listeners are doing the receiving of information. And there are several types for oral presentation. One of it prepared يحضره اللي هو مناقشة طروحة أو تقديم في مؤتمر، أو he is reading something in conference, reading بيان, reading information, reading a text of anything. So he's reading, or أن يتذكر. memorization مو تذكر محفوظة. memorization يتذكر بها الشخص إلى أهمية، حدث إلى أهمية، فاستذكار أو أحيانا ارتجال. import to ارتجال something بهذا الموضوع. So these are the types of oral presentation. In carrying out on oral presentation, one to have to determine the purpose. ما هي الغاية من oral presentation؟ قد تكون to inform مبلغ، أو أحيانا to persuade، الطالب في مناقشة تطروحها ما يحاول أن يسوي persuasion. he will persuade لجنة المناقشة أنه what was his work, his result, his discussion and his thesis.
entertain.
أو للتسلية عندما يكون ممثل يعني يقدم لنا. فعندما نكون we are determining the purpose, we have to analyze the audience اللي هما audience size and composition. size and composition مكوناتهم بروف، طلبة، listener، مستمعين عاديين or they are politician or so on. They are audience analysis also to predict audience probable reaction. نتنبأ ماذا سيكون رد فعل المستمعين. ولازم نتذكر هنا أنه بالعالم العربي رد الفعل المستمعين أحيانا يكون مؤذي ومزعج ومقرف، ولذلك لابد أن يكون حذر بالoral presentation في كل أنواعه even the scientific one. and to estimate the audience level of understanding. ما يصير أتحدث in my oral presentation أتحدث لغة غير مفهومة، مو لغة غير مفهوم كلماتها، بس ما يقدر يفتهم جملها أو ما يقدر يفتهم المقصد من عندها أو لماذا أنا أتحدث هكذا. فإذا the most important to estimate the audience level of understanding and to talk with that level of understanding just to be sure that the message reach the audience. It is the most important before oral presentation to determine the purpose and to analyze the audience. In doing oral presentation there is verbal delivery لأنه أنا أتحدث verbal delivery أتحدث. فإذا volume of the voice مهم، rate، vocal quality نوعية الصوت، وأيضا لفظ الكلمات. So verbal delivery is important. أحيانا يجي أستاذ ما تسمع ايش يحكي، يسولف ويا نفسه، وهذا ما يصير. وطالب يقوم يجاوب أو يقوم يقدم هو يسولف ويا نفسه ما يقدر يتحدث. It is most important that verbal delivery in this item to be so clear. Volume of the voice, rate of the voice. يعني ما يصير يتحدث سرعة. نقول ليش تحدث سرعة؟ ويقول الزمن لازم أقلله، يعني لازم أنا أخلص ويا الزمن، لأنه بالمناقشة تروح الدكتوراه أو الماجستير أو غيرها أو بالبورد يقول لك ربع ساعة حتى تخلص، ربع ساعة تخلص، فيقوم يركض بالكلمات. The rate will be increased and there is no understanding, there is no use, no benefit from this oral presentation. He has to present in a good quality that the audience will be understand, and also that time will be enough to persuade the audience. And in addition to the verbal delivery, there is non-verbal delivery. What is the non-verbal? It is the posture, وقفته، movement. أحيانا واحد يقدم هو he is freezing أو gesture إيماءات because he is presenting something live. So there is gesture. He have to be in that. His facial expression, not to be a mask face. That is mean that poker face is not acceptable. Poker face اللي هو ما عليه تعابير أو mask face ما عليه تعابير. Appearance الشكل اللي يظهر به لازم يكون مقبول. ف there is verbal delivery and non-verbal delivery. Both of them will persuade the audience on the ability of the person giving oral presentation. Look, I don't miss the scientific composition of the oral presentation. No, but I am talking about the art of oral presentation. When you start, do not apologize. What for you are apologize؟ إنه المادة طويلة وكبيرة وما أقدر نكمل وعدد السلايدات كثير والزمن This is nonsense. Don't apologize. You was prepared to present and you take your time. There is no room for to apologize. And this will reduce your effect on the audience. You must be confident when you are talking about your achievement, your subject, your lesson. To be confident. And this confidence is a high composition from the way to persuade the audience. You must know the topic well. You must know the topic well. فإن start, don't apologize, be confident and know the topic well. You have to pay attention for the audience mood. مزاج الناس المستمعة. كيف the person will control the audience mood by the voice, by the body language, by visual aid, and by timing. How can we control the audience mood? By our voice. Monotonous speech is nonsense. You have to react with the events in your speech. This reaction with the event in the speech will control the audience mood. It is an art. The body language. أنت مو صنم واقف ولا تمثال. You are a human being. And in your oral presentation, there are events to be which induce reactions. These reactions manifested in body language. The visual aids, that's to mean slides or films or videos or anything, and timing to start with and to end with. How can we find that man is academic one in the conference? He will finish in time and there is no need to alarm him or to appoint for him. He will finish in time. Preparation of slide مهم. Such a slide اللي هو يحكي لنا قصة narrative novel like slide يزعج المستمعين، يزعج الأودينس، يزعج الحضور، يزعج المناقشين. It will reflect a weak experience in preparing a slide. It reflects a weak experience in understanding how to present. Definitely it will reflect that that man or that speaker has no experience in oral presentation. Please avoid long narrative novel like slide اللي هو so common بالمناقشات الدراسات العليا. busy slide أيضا مرات. To avoid a busy slide, such a slide with many items, the visual aids is just to ease the concentration of audience. It is to ease the perception of audience on the subject. And such a slide will not do that. So please avoid a busy slide. Slide with many data is bad slide. Such one. طلعوا لنا داتا اشكال، هنا جدول وهنا فيجر وهنا جدول وهنا فيجر. It is nonsense. Message is more important than data. Message is more important than data. And this is a problem. The audience were bored with the talk. The presenter must deal with such an item. He must have a story to tell. You must be a storyteller. In your research, there are different stories, and you can tell them such as stories. تتضخم، تتعدل، تتذكر بنكتة, so the mood of the audience will be controlled and will be refreshed. Then message more important than raw data. عندما أطلع raw data وحاط عليها حمر، هنا دويرات وهنا خضر وهنا صفر. What is this? Not everybody can tolerate huge data on the screen. So the message, what you want from these data, and you have to awake the liturgicals كسالة المتعبين اللي ما عندهم interest in your talk. To manage the stress of oral presentation, we have to rehearse. نتدرب. To control the stress of oral presentation, the solution and rehearse. Rehearse and نتدرب على التقديم. You must present before your peer audience, زملائك. وأن لا نقفز على نفسنا. نقفز على نفسنا معناته over confidence. نقفز على نفسنا نتحدث بأمور ما نعرفها. نقفز على نفسنا أي نفضحها قدام الناس. So rehearse presenting before peer audience and never get above yourself is an important things. في التقديم أشكال. أحيانا إحنا نقدم بحث اللي هو بالدراسات العليا أو بحث في مؤتمر اللي هو classical introduction and material and method, results and conclusions. So it is clear items to be introduced. And sometimes someone invited to talk بالمؤتمرات مثلا يدزون على ناس سموهم key persons. He have to talk about his experience in a subject. So his communication and finding message vision as efficient as possible. Not every person could be a key person in conference. Key person provide and present in such a manner different than that these items. At the last, oral presentation reflects success. There is no secret for success. There is no secret to success. النجاح ما بأسرار. وإنما النجاح it is the result of a preparation, التحضير, hard work, العمل الجاد, and learning from failure. These are the items for success. There is no secret to success. the success النجاح هو result of preparation, hard work and learning from failure. أتمنى أنه استطعت أن أقدم شيء عن الأورال presentation. شكرا جزيلا.